Hi guys, just finished watching the England versus New Zealand semi-final. Final score, England 19, New Zealand 7. And I gotta say, whoa, that was a fair game, a fair cracking game, and England fully deserved to win. As I said in my preview video, I had questions about this England side mentality, but they've obviously gone to that psychologist post Six Nations and got that together because what a performance that was. They were just all over New Zealand in every department and they just defensively were magnificent. At the breakdown, they were magnificent. Set pieces, mostly very good as well. And George Ford's kicking, excellent too, for the most part. New Zealand, I honestly thought they were rattled early on. I think they got rattled by how and surprised by how fast England started. And then when Manu Tuolangi scored the try, and then they looked like they never really recovered from that. I mean, they tried to move the ball and play it, but they kept making errors you wouldn't expect New Zealand to make. And England just soaked it up and kept pushing them back, soaked it up, kept pushing them back, and then New Zealand either knocked it on, kicked it away, or England got the ball. And when England had the ball, they were playing with such intensity that New Zealand just looked shell-shocked by it. I honestly thought New Zealand played today just looking shell-shocked, like they didn't know what was happening. The game was spiralling out of their control, and it was just something to watch. I mean, as a Scotsman, obviously I have my anti-English biasness within me, but I can say England fully deserved that, and they deserved to be in that final, without a doubt, on that performance. And mentally, they were so strong too. Not once did they let up for that 80 minutes. We're going to talk about the game now. As I said, it started very quickly with England. They just showed early on they were just wanting to get the All Blacks on the back foot right from the off and just pummel them. And then eventually, after quick phase rugby, they got into the 5 metres. Manu Tuolangi took the ball, went over the line, saw a wee gap and scored. And then later on, they had a try disallowed for Sam Underhill. I think it was the right call because you can tell Kyle Sinclair as he goes round Tom Curry. Sam Whitelock's drawn to Curry, but it is crossing because Sinclair still has the ball as he goes round Curry, and Curry is stopping a potential tackler, which creates the gap for Sam Underhill to go into. So that was the right call, I think. And then George Ford, with a penalty, made it 10-0 at half-time to England. They should have been further ahead, I think, because they were all over it. And New Zealand just made too many mistakes, as I said. In the second half, again, another dubious disallowed try for England. And I personally thought it was right as well, because if you see the ball, I know the ball doesn't leave Jamie George's hands in the maul, but Mako Vunipola is definitely in front of him as he takes the ball, so that's gone forward in the maul from what I see it. So I'd say Nigel Owens and the TMO got that spot on. And then England later on got a penalty, went to 13-0, and about the only serious bit of sloppy play England made throughout the match, bar the 2 disallowed tries, but defensively the only sloppy play they made was at that defensive line out, which they messed up, and Ardi Savia caught the ball, went over and scored the try for New Zealand. But apart from that, England were just near perfect in defence, and they were just all over the game. They were just putting pressure on New Zealand. New Zealand just made so many more mistakes than you expect them to make, and their penalty count was really high as well. It got to the point where Nigel Owens had to speak to Kieran Reid and say, basically, if you're giving away any more penalties, then I'll start producing yellow cards. And he was right, because New Zealand's penalty count, throughout the whole tournament, has been pretty high if you look at it, and that's come back to bite them in this match. And George Ford just kept knocking the points over. I think Owen Farrell had a bit of an injury with his leg, which is why he wasn't taking the kicks, but George Ford, a very able replacement, stepped up. And to be fair, I wasn't sure if that combination would work with Ford and Farrell 10-12, but it did. It proved me wrong. And England proved me wrong as well. They showed they mentally can keep it together. And obviously the final next week, in terms of occasion, it's going to be a different ball game, but in terms of favourites, you have to say England are favourites now after that performance. And looking forward to it, it should be good. I'll have a preview of South Africa against Wales coming up a bit later on today. I'm going to talk about that match. I think that's going to be a close game. But to round this video off, very well done to England. Fully deserved to be in the World Cup final. And you played your hearts out. Played absolutely amazing. Possibly the best England performance under Eddie Jones, given the occasion, without question. And that's all I've really got to say, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Well done to England. Commiserations to New Zealand. A sad way for Steve Hansen to go out after all he's done for New Zealand in the last however long, but it is what it is. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Have an awesome day, and I'll catch you later on.